Hey YouTubers, how are we? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping safe out there. Simon B here again. In the garage today again, and today, yes, we are fixing stuff. The 350 LC that we showed you a few weeks ago, we're going to get that back on the road. We're going to recommission some stuff on it. The first thing I'm going to do is one of the most important things is the brakes. I have no idea what the rubber seals are in it. I don't know if they're genuine. So what I thought I'd do before we get it back on the road is rebuild the front two calipers and rebuild the master cylinder. The master cylinder's become a bit stiff, so I'm thinking it's probably original because it's aluminium. It's probably getting a bit corroded in there. So if you fancy watching a bit of that and getting this beauty back on the road, stick around, stay tuned. So first things first, before we can even rebuild the caliper, we need to take it off the bike. As you can see, there's a little bit of corrosion on this, so I'm thinking it's all probably original. So all we need to do is take two bolts out, take the brake pipe off, and then get it on the bench. So what I'm going to do on this side, which I didn't do on the other side, is just to crack this off the brake pipe, because it was stiff on the other side. And once I'd got the bolts out, it was quite difficult to take out. Made a bit delicate, these old bikes. So if you get an old glove and hold it open, and hopefully get it in there better than I did. The caliper off. As you can see, should better see in there. Look at all that in there. I'm going to get rid of all that. So first things first, what we're going to do is strip it down. So that's the one we've just taken off, and that's one we've already done. New pads, new piston in it, new seals inside, new bleed screw, new dust cap, everything's renewed. So on here, as you can see, I showed you before, I don't know if you can still see it now, you can see all the corrosion on the inside. The last one was pitted, and I think it was chrome, which I think it must have been. I think it was original. And you see the pitting in there. You can't put that back in there, can I? So what we've done, we've bought some stainless steel ones. So let's take this apart. You know, one of the things, if you're doing things like this, if you put it into a bucket here and things ping out, you can always find them and you won't end up losing them. So that's the pin that holds the pads in. And as you can see, it's a bit stiff. So it's the thing again, you've got steel with aluminium, which creates see, I've been gracious, just all a bit gone a bit dry really. So there's the old pads, we're going to replace them, so there's no point in keeping them. I'm going to leave the bleed nipple in because I'm going to use some air to pump this piston out. So take the rest of it apart. That little split pin here which holds part of the caliper together. Yeah, they are really about time. So there is grease on them, but it's all dried up and all snapped up. The colour of it is not very good. So look at that here. There's some parts to this caliper. Yeah, I just think is remember now if it all goes back together. It's the rusting between aluminium and steel, isn't it? It happens on Land Rovers. It's the electro something. Anyway. So I need to get that out now. So the easiest and best way that I've found is, I recently bought myself a Makita portable air pump. And what I'm going to do use a bit of air and pump this out. And as you can see, it's quite solid. That was 30 psi that was in there then. So what I'm going to probably have to do is similar to what I did with the last one. Is if it doesn't come out, nope, she's not coming out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push it back in. It's a bit like a nut, isn't it? If it doesn't come off, tighten it a little eighth of a turn, and then it'll basically crack it. So what we're going to do, put a GT85 in there. I'm going to push it back. Move you around. I'm just going to get it in a vise. I'm not going to push it in a long way, just to crack them dry seals, because them seals are probably just dry. So I've got a socket the same size as the piston. I'm going to put it into the jaws of the vise, and all I'm going to do, see, she's tight capping, is hopefully that'll just have folded the seals back. So I've only gone in 4 mil, so hopefully now, hey presto, this thing will do something like that. That's how you remove a piston that's seized. So yeah, not in very good shape. The bottom's not too bad, but time for a rebuild really. So I'll get the two, let the dust seal out, if she'll come out. So that's the main rubber main seal, and that's the dust seal, which we no longer need. So what I need to do now is get this cleaned up, everything cleaned up, and we'll better rebuild it. So now we've got the piston out, we can hopefully remove the bleed nipple. So it's also what's replaceable are the two rubbers in here. So I'll take them out now and replace them and rebuild it. So if this was a restoration, we'd be sending away these to get blasted and painted again, but it's not restoration. This bike's going to be ridden. It's in original condition, so we're not going for a full rest up. So it's just a little brass wire brush. It's not steel, so it shouldn't be taking anything out of anywhere apart from cleaning. And the ridges to where the seals go. That's about ready to rebuild. Major important thing you need when you're rebuilding calipers and putting rubbers in is red rubber grease. Don't need loads of it. What this does, it lubricates your seals. It keeps them wet and damp so they work properly. So I'm going to put the main seal in first. Goes down to the bottom. Pretty difficult for you to show this on camera probably, but we'll try our best. It's quite hard to not to kink it. If you work it round and press it home in every place where you've got it to, and slowly bring it down, then you'll end up with one piece left, and sometimes it does go in just like that. Just a little smear around the outside. Same process again, lubricate the rubber. And this seems to be a little bit more difficult than the main seal. It's a little bit thinner, and on the last one it didn't really want to play a ball. So if you run your finger around just to make sure that everything's seated correctly, because sometimes it doesn't, and you can feel it with your fingers, it should just stand slightly proud, because it's actually going to compress when it goes in. No idea if you can be able to see into there, but there's the two seals in, the dust seal, the water seal, and the main seal. Brand new stainless steel piston. We'll just a slight bit of lube on it, we don't need loads on it. Now this should I feel it goes past the first seal. And it's now seated back to the second seal. So put the rubbers, squeeze them together and push them down. As you can see, there's the lip there which fits inside. Never done one before. It's basically just pinching it and pushing it down, and the rubber will form back on itself and stay in. Put a bit of anti-seize compound on the back, just some on the pin that's going to go through and hold the two pads in. Not loads of it, put it on and wipe the excess off. So we found out that we ran out of battery power on the GoPro, so we were in a position where we didn't have the free floating backing, so all we did was put the new rubbers in, put a bit of anti-seize compound. I'm not going to take it to bits again now. Push the pin through, made sure it's all free. As you can see, it free floats now backwards and forwards, which it should do. Put the pin in, and then we put the new bleed nipple in. So that's the fully rebuilt caliper for a 350 LC. Dead easy. You boys and girls can do this at home. Just have the confidence to do it. It is relatively easy. Here we go, boys and girls, fully rebuilt caliper for the front of an LC 350. Dead easy to do, aren't they? There's not a great lot to do on them. There's only a few moving parts on it. You boys and girls at home can do this. It's dead easy. A few basic tools. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need masses and masses of tools. Basic toolkit, and you can do this at home yourself. If you took this to a garage, it costs you, with all the parts and the labour, to put it all back together, all of what we're going to do, be 300-400 quid. You could be doing it at home for £100. If you're still with us at this time, at the end of the video, thanks very much for watching. If you thought that was okay, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, well, give it a thumbs down. Whichever way, it all helps with the algorithms of YouTube. Thanks to all you subscribers out there, over 750 now, nearly 1,000, need to get to 1,000. Feeling quite humbled that you people want to watch this drivel that I keep putting out every week. Somebody must like it, like the things that I do, which is great. Don't forget to like, tag, share and follow. Tell all your friends, get them to subscribe to it. Any comments or anything like to say, please comment down below. Continuing on next video on the LC350, we're going to rebuild the master cylinder, then bleed all the brakes and hopefully take it for an MOT and get out on the road. So you need to stick around for that. If you're out there, ride safe, keep safe, be safe, don't get COVID. Thanks very much for watching again, and as they say, we'll see you soon.